Most leaders are being taught that in order to create high-performing teams, attract talents and great business opportunities, or even grow their business, their organizations to the next level, they need to work hard. They need to do more. They need to push more. They need to force more. Many has already realized that that way of leading and being and operating is truly not sustainable. And so many has also struggled with burnout or compromising their career ambitions in this process of realizing that doing more and working harder and forcing and chasing is not only unproductive for themselves, but also for the people they lead and for their organization and for business, because that's one of the first reasons of low engagement in organizations as well. So what if I could share with you a new way of leading, a secret to truly unlocking exponential growth within yourself, in your team, in your organization, in your business, a way that helps you to shift the dynamic of your team to high performing and engaged, a secret and a way that is allowing you to bring the talents and business opportunities and clients rather than to chase for them effortlessly. And the best part is the way that is allowing you not only to achieve all of that with more ease and with less hard work, but also feel fully fulfilled, joyful, expanded, happy, compassionate, empathic, and bold, fearless. What if you could tap into this secret, harness this power, and lead and live your business, your organization, your team, and your life from that place? I hope you are getting curious to find out what I'm talking about. And that superpower, that secret that I'm going to share with you today, that is a foundation behind extraordinary leadership, is energetic alignment. And in this episode, I'm going to share with you and unpack for you what actually, first of all, this energetic alignment is all about, what are the benefits, and obviously how to tap into that, how the process works, and where you can start. So I hope you are really excited as I am, because that truly is the transformational superpower of extraordinary leadership. If we don't know each other yet, my name is Dagmara Asbrook. I'm the founder, CEO of Extraordinary Leadership, transformational executive coach, absolutely passionate, motivated, and committed to serving extraordinary leaders like yourself, senior executive leaders who wants to embody extraordinary leadership. And in fact, I'm very fascinated about this process, and I jumped from my 15 years career in corporation in order to do that. And energetic alignment is one of the processes, fundamental processes, that I bring more and more to my clients since I discovered it 2-3 years ago in my entrepreneurship journey. And I got so much fascinated about this whole process and mechanism behind and what it brings. It has been really creating breakthroughs in the way I lead, operate, I see challenges, and it's transformed the level of fulfillment, trust, boldness, confidence into leading my business, and obviously it play a role into creating clients and bringing more leaders along the journey, as well as, when I started to bring this energetic alignment to my customers, to leaders that I work with, I could see how that speed up their transformation and how not only I serve better, but also how they achieve those amazing results and outcomes in their business, with their teams and in their lives, and how that all makes a difference into their organizations and their well-being, and of course in their families as well. So energetic alignment, it's such an important and crucial process and way of being, I would say, and way of leading. So let us start by unpacking actually what this energetic alignment actually is about. So energetic alignment is the ability to live or be on lead in harmony with your highest self, with your highest expression, highest potential of yourself, with that identity, with that energy, because everything is energy and energy has frequency. So when you are able to tap into energy of your highest expression and the vision that you hold deeply in your heart and bring it to now, harmonize it in, be in sync, if you like, in congruence with it, here and now. This is where energetic alignment comes into place. And it is not only about the mindset, it's way beyond the mindset and mindset work and, thoughts and beliefs. Yes, that's a part of the process. Energetic alignment is really an embodied experience because it's attached to your identity, to your body, to your subconscious, to your energy. So it is so much more larger, and it's really being in sync and embodying that highest expression, highest version of yourself. And who is that highest version of yourself? Well, it is a version of you that already exists, that has already realized everything what you want, and that already lives the vision, that already lives the reality that you aspire to create and have, that already maybe build that business, that team, that life, that organization already. That is your highest, authentic, and most potential self that when you embody, when you energetically align with, magic starts to unfold. But I can assure you that this whole process of energetic alignment is far from magic. It's a pure scientific mechanism that I'm going to share with you here today. But before we do that, what I also want to mention is that when I use the expression of higher self, I also want to tell you that there is a current self of you, a version of you that currently is leading and living. The current you, current version of yourself that has also a certain energy is that you who has been conditioned by the past, who has a different level of thinking, different level of being, different level of looking at the different situations, different level of perception, different bandwidth of resilience, of trust, of empathy, of compassion, of boldness. And that current self is basically a result of your past experiences, past conditioning, past learning, past mistakes, past evolutions. Your highest self is that version of you that is your highest potential. So that version of you that is much more wiser, much more bold, much more empathic, much more compassionate, limitless, fearless, unshakable. That is that version of you that already realized what you truly want. So we sometimes call that version of ourselves a future self. And yes, there will be many different iterations of that higher version of yourself, that version of you that you aspire to become and embody, because as we evolve in that process, we are tapping to the next level of our highest version of ourselves, to that potential that we carry within ourselves and beyond. Now, I consciously use the word energetic alignment. And why do I use the word energy and energetic? So if you're new to that, and maybe you hear about energy for the very first time, well, many people still are in unpacking and trying to understand what energy is. And if you are one of those people listening and leaders listening to this show today, then I invite you to check the work of Joe Dispenza or Dr. Lipton, who have done a lot of studies into a realm of energy, quantum physics, and how this all things works. But in a nutshell, everything is energy, even if you don't see it, because we can't see energy, but everything is energy. You and I are emanating energy, and there is electromagnetic field, we can call it aura, that is, surrounding us. And this is that energy of our being, of who we are being in a moment, that makes an impact. That is that energy that we are emitting, that it's making people feel more safe or unsafe with us, fostering fear or psychological safety. This is that energy that's communicating subconsciously more powerfully than any words that you choose. And that's that energy that has a different level of thinking and mindset and ideas that you can actually tap into. And the way I like to explain that principle of energy in a simple realm is like energy has frequencies, like a radio station, right? There are different radio stations that you can tune into to listen to. And depending which radio station you listen to, you receive a different kind of information, right? And different level of maybe music and different energy that is actually in this radio station. So it's the same with our current self and our future self or higher self. Our current self and our higher self are on a different energy frequency, different vibrational frequency. So the whole energetical alignment allow us to tap into that frequency of our higher self, that information, that mindset, that identity, and that being that we can embody here and now through energetic alignment and act from that state of being, from that self. And of course, as you can slowly start to imagine, when we are operating from that space of our higher self, the version of us who already done and achieved and become who we want to be more of as leaders, then if we are able to tap into that energy, tap to that information, tap into that being, tap into that mindset and identity and embody that in here and now, really, we transform the way we communicate. We transform the way we make an impact. We are getting to ideas and strategies that we would never be able to tap into from our logical mind and a current self mindset. We are becoming more visionary. We are definitely embodying more boldness and trust, belief, and faith into walking our path, leading any challenge that we encounter with our teams, in our business, in our organizations, in our life. We are embodying so much more trust and inner peace, especially in these situations. We are so much more positive, radiating that positive energy. I hear it so often, people telling me, wow, I love your energy. You're kind of glowing, you're radiating. That's what I've heard from in the last years when I started to really master this energetic alignment and embodiment of my higher self. Because yes, I shift the energy in that moment. And this is not only felt inside of me, but is also noticed and transpired outside. And this is how it makes people feel in a different way. So you are also getting like a feedback from the outside that embodiment, that energetic alignment actually is visible, is sensed. Another beautiful benefit of this energetic alignment, looking at myself as well as looking at my clients, is, when you are mastering embodiment of that higher self and this energetic alignment, actually something fascinating happens. Opportunities, either people or business opportunities or talents that you want for your organization, or mentors or coaches that you need along the way, these people starts to appear in your life. This opportunity starts to come to you. So you not anymore go and search endlessly in Google or in other platform. Who do I need? How do I find the right talent for my organization? How do I find the right coach and mentor? Or how do I land this opportunity? How do I get this client? The moment you know how to tap into energy alignment and master the embodiment process, the opportunity starts to come to you. You probably have heard that already from some other thought leaders in this realm. And it is really has been something that I experienced myself just recently. Another example where 3 different business opportunities came to me without me looking for them, without me spending hours of finding them and maybe chasing them. And this happens also for my clients, who all of a sudden, with doing less, but being more aligned from inside and able to tap into that level of thinking and being, shift the energy. And by doing so, start to notice that the desired business opportunity, so people are on their path, starts to come their way. And all these new career opportunities starts to show up in a most unexpected way. So this process is really allowing you, if I may say, to lead and live from a different dimension, from a dimension and a place of joy, of abundance, of everything, right? And when I say abundance, it's not only about money, which is part of it, but also abundance of gratitude, abundance of people, abundance of love, abundance of belief, faith, unshakable boldness within yourself. All of that, that we all so much want to be and have in our lives. And especially as leaders who are wanting to make an extraordinary impact and not only be successful, but also fulfilled. Leaders who want to leave a legacy, leaders who want to be the change, to lead the change, like yourself listening here to this episode. Leaders like you who know that are meant for more and feel the deep inside, but don't know still how to unlock it. Energetic alignment and embodiment is the key to unlock exactly that exponential growth, starting with unlocking it from within, inside yourself. And only by doing so, you are going not only transform yourself, but your team, your organization, your business. Seeing how, as we say, when we transform within, the world around us starts to shift. So what you also encounter in mastering the energetic alignment is that people start to respond to you differently. One of my clients who I work with for some time already, a super amazing leader who is leading a change in a large organization. And when he came to me, he was challenged with resistance of leading that change, which is very natural because, when we are used to operating, leading and performing in a certain way and somebody see an opportunity to do it differently, of course, our current state of mind and comfort zone is being challenged. So obviously he encountered resistance, which he knew is going to come. And this resistance has not been easy when you're trying to shift the mindset, the culture, the way of operation of a team, and also set the standard in an organization of a new way of leading, much more potential, and of course, rising through that performance of your team and impact in business. And I remember that he was having some people that were really, really very challenging, almost acting like his resistors. The moment he started to shift from inside on several different levels and get more into the alignment of that highest version of himself and embody that more and more, he became so much more positive in this process. And he also started to shift from inside, and that's this shift from inside becoming allowed him to become more empathic, more compassionate, seeing more things that he was not able to see before, and seeing people that were his resistors in a different lens, in a different view. And all of that, of course, first of all, shaped and shifted his energy that he was emanating, as well as his capabilities to show up and lead certain conversation in a new way. And obviously, naturally, beautifully, his biggest resistance became his supporters. The level of conversation and connection with these people shifted. And also that created momentum in leading the change, in developing people to the next level and developing the team to the next level. So you saw, fast forward, he is extremely recognized in this organization that he's just 2 or 3 years in and have a great influence and being rewarded for that and being recognized for that. So that is one of the example what the energetic alignment is allowing you, or can allow you or any other leader to realize. And I didn't mention, of course, that his personal relationship with his family has completely transformed the relationship with himself as well. So basically, he's much more joyful, much more happy, much more fulfilled. And this is a story of just one of a leader that I have a pleasure and honor to work with. But I can tell you that each of them, and including myself walking through this path, being supported by coaches as well in that realm, I can see how this energetic alignment make truly, truly a difference. And difference how we feel about ourselves, different how we lead, how we think, how we embrace difficulties and navigate challenges with so much more trust, and improve our relationships privately or personally, and unlock a new way of success, unlock a new way that is with more ease, with more flow, with more joy in the process. And obviously, by doing so, we unlock universal co-creation and conscious manifestation, and creating the results from, I say, call fifth dimension, which is what we understand and lean into in this process of energetic alignment and embodiment. So I am, as you can hear, extremely, extremely excited about that. And I also want to acknowledge that, and maybe at this moment elaborate on what's very, very obvious. There's so much misconceptions about what energetic alignment actually is about. So let me talk through some of them. And in that moment, you can actually check it with yourself. Is this something that, resonate with me? Am I maybe one of those skeptics here? And if you are, then it's totally okay, because that's really, I am sharing with you something which is out of a standard traditional way of thinking and being. And this is very normal that your rational mind, your current self, your current state of mind will be perceiving as new information, as challenging. And either you're going to be super excited, like I usually am with those extraordinary ideas, or you're going to be very, very skeptical and thinking, what is that woo-woo thing that Agmara is sharing with me here in this episode? And you're going to think, yeah, okay, nice to have, but I go back to my traditional way of doing what I know works. So first of all, let's talk about these misconceptions about what energetic alignment is. So first of all, energetic alignment is not woo-woo. It's not something that is invented by myself. I've learned, or I came across that through my coaches, and then I expanded through a research-based, science-based, quantum physics-based information, as I mentioned, through work of Joe Dispenza and Dr. Lipton. So it's definitely far from being woo-woo. It's explained in quantum physics as well as explained in spirituality. So it depends where you more attuned into. Both realms brings that explanation of the mechanism behind that. And in a simple way, without going to too much depth, because that's a topic by itself. And the moment we understand that and tap into that fifth dimensional reality, we start to understand that basically by shifting our energy, we shift the reality, we shift the results, we shift how we feel. We can quantum jump basically to a new timeline. We can really unlock the exponential growth, because this is how we co-create with that quantum field, with that energy, with that universe. And of course, in alignment or energetic alignment and embodiment process, we are learning all of those different ways of how to connect, how to co-create with that energy, because this is what actually is the foundation of quantum leaks, exponential growth and exponential shifts, which you can tap into. So that's a process by itself. So that's specific mechanics, if you like, total mechanics behind this. And another way I would like to back up here is from neuroscience, actually. That is very interesting to know. So sports people, right, actually tapping into that. Imagination is one way of energetic alignment. That's just one way, one part of the process. And I will walk you through the process. When we are tapping into that imagination, in imaginary thinking, dreaming of what we really like and how it really look like, and we can see it and feel it, what happens is there are different neurons connecting in our brains. And we are, through that, conditioning our mind and body to make it believe it is happening already now. So sport people, for example, are using that. Apart from their trainings, the physical trainings, they are imagining, envisioning how they, for example, shoot that ball, or how they pass through at the finish line as Formula One drivers and win the race. And they don't do it just for fun. They are literally conditioning their mind and their body. And what is happening really, they are changing the chemicals, they're changing basically inside how the body is responding, and preparing themselves actually that when these things happen, when they have an opportunity to shop, they are going to actually be much more successful with making that shot, not only through physical training, but through this conditioning of the mind and the body. And also what happens is that by conditioning the mind and the body in your imagination, where feeling plays an important role, not only seeing that, you are shifting energy. You are shifting your state. You already are being there in this experience. And so You are acting as if it already happened. And that is what fuels your success rate in the moment. Another thing is maybe a misconception that you may be holding on. Energetic alignment is just positive thinking. It's way beyond that. Positive thinking is part of it, is a part what I consider of a growth mindset, is a part of ability to embrace challenges in a positive lens. It's not fake positivity that blur our reality and, suppress the real circumstance that we're dealing. But positive thinking is not energetic alignment. It's just, I would say, a one tiny part of the process. It's more the ability to shift the perspective and shift the way of perceiving, for example, challenges or certain situations in a more positive or more negative lens. That is a very important ingredient as well in this process, but that's not the only thing when it goes about energetic alignment. And another one misconception could be that energetic alignment is just sitting, meditating, and, closing the eyes and, maybe doing some meditations or imagining that in your mind. And then, wow, magically everything happens to you. No, it's not an energetic alignment either. It's, again, part of the process. Yes, energetic activations, meditations were combined with imagination a very important part of the process because, again, they are serving the part of conditioning your state, your brain or your mind and your body and your state, your energy. They are very, very critical, but there is a place for action. Action is very important in this process. Action from an aligned place is very important, from a place of your higher self, not your current self. So no, it's not just sitting and miraculously getting. You have a role into that. You still need to take action, but it's a different action that you need to take. And it's not about falling in the trap of working hard and not getting progress, but knowing which action to take from the higher state that is much more prosperous and much more potential. So basically you find yourself doing less and achieving more. That's basically behind the mechanism of that aligned and inspiring and bold action that you are invited to take in this process along the journey. So those are the three things that I wanted to share with you that might come at the moment to, even to you or to others. And those are the typical misconceptions about energetic alignment. And maybe the last one to mention, energy alignment is not energy management. That's a different thing. And I would say energy management is part of fueling the energy alignment. So energy and management, which is now being more and more, talked and invited to do, and I would say on a spotlight, and a very good so, serves to manage ourselves better, right? So basically it's all about physical self-care, into being in a better state and shape so that we can mentally think more clearly, improving our decision making and our vision. And that's also about obviously managing your emotions, managing your clarity of the mind. And that's a very, very important part in the process, in the realm of the whole process of energetic alignment, because the more you are managing the energy and you're reducing, what take away your energy, either people, activities, or ways of being, then more you are on a higher vibrational energy, which of course unlocks more flow, more ease, of course helps you to be more productive, more creative, and give you actually energy for action, right? Instead of being tired. But you may find yourself on a higher energy from, how you feel inside and more productive and feeling well, but still empty or disaligned, or seeing that the progress do not come as you truly aspired it to be. And this is because you're not energetically aligned. You're not embodying that higher version of yourself, and you're not in congruence with the vision that you're aspiring to bring into reality. And so there are other processes that you need to go through, and evolution from inside that is part of the energetic alignment that will allow you to reach that state and literally create outcomes with less and unlock exponential growth and basically attract talents, opportunities, career, business opportunities, people into your life, and really shift dynamic of your business and team and organization. So that is the difference between energy management and energy alignment. So it's like the next level. Again, energy management is foundational, fueling the energy alignment. So I guess at this point in time, you're starting to be very curious on how this process works of this energy alignment. Where do you start? What's the phases? And how do you actually do that? And I hope that you are asking yourself a question now, because it's so amazing. We're going to talk about it now. What's the process of energy alignment or energetic alignment? Well, I would say that the process of energetic alignment, which is again being in harmony, in sync, in congruence with your highest version of yourself, embodying that highest version of yourself in so many dimensions here and now, it's having three phases. It's having three phases along the process. Phase number one is, we can call it activating that being, activating that state, activating and connecting with that higher self. And what it is actually behind is the process of discovering, first of all, of who is that version of yourself, discovering what is your vision, discovering what are their values, what is their level of thinking, what is the level of acting, what are their standards, what's the identity. So it's discovery, first of all of this, which is associated with the higher version of yourself. In other words, discovering your potential, if you like, from different angles. And the second part in this first, let me say, phase is already breaking through on some first mindset shifts and seeing that you are able to start to embrace a different level of thinking. So the first phase is really happening more in your mind and in your clarity, and it's getting into the first step into the alignment process. So imagine you're walking out with a clear picture that you can actually, in best way, hold in your hand in pictures. Like, for example, a vision board is one of the exact perfect way to start this process with, where you can see the expression of that highest potential of yourself. And you can see who is that version of you in different pictures. How is that version of you behaving, thinking, being? What's the energy of that version of you? What's the identity of that version of you? And what is that version of you creating? What's that vision? What is happening in your business and life and in your relationships when you are fully embodying and living from that level, from that space? So this is what brings you to the activation of that energy, of that frequency, of that version of yourself. And literally, I'm just finished last week a process with a couple of leaders that came to define that vision and tap into that higher self identity, and walked out with this tangible picture in hand, which is called vision board. And I can tell you that this process is beautiful. This process is really bringing you to the next level of feeling and thinking. And at the same time, this process is meeting challenges, because in this process, when you are activating and tapping to a bigger thinking, to what you really, really, really want and who that higher potential version of you is, you are meeting resistance. You may meet resistance in this part, as one of the members in this workshop has faced. And resistance comes very simply from your current self, from who you are being now, from your current level of thinking and being, because your vision and that higher self lives outside of your comfort zone. So obviously it's challenging your current system and, first of all, your thinking, your mindset, and it's met with resistance. So in this phase, you may need to be supported into shifting certain beliefs such as, oh, if I aspire for so much, what's the consequence for my family or for the relationships? Oh, maybe that's too much. Maybe I'm thinking too far, or many other things. Maybe I'm not worthy of this. So there are so many different resistance options that you can meet here, and will be really surfacing for you, because literally in the activation phase, you are tapping to a higher level of thinking, to imagination, to connecting with a higher version of yourself, which is new to you. So it's new to your system. It's new to your mind. Overcoming that resistance will be crucial into allowing yourself to tap to that frequency and to tap to that first level of thinking and believing that you can create the vision that you want, that you can become the leader that you truly want, and you can have the life, the team, the organization, the business that you want. So that is where you kind of surrender yourself to the dream and to the vision that really is within yourself, deeply anchored in your heart. And in this process, overcoming your mind, your current mind, your ego, your conditioned mind, to allow yourself to dream bigger and to tap to and connect to your highest potential of yourself. So that's the first phase of energetic alignment. Now, the second phase of energetic alignment is I would call it's called alignment. We can call this phase alignment. It's like a transition phase. It's the phase in which you are literally transitioning from your current self to your higher self. And this is not a linear process. This can be very messy. This can be very challenging at some points, because obviously you are challenging your current system of beliefs, your current identity, your current what is known for you. So it meets resistance, pushback, and this is where you are invited to take different actions that are in alignment with that next level of yourself, maybe more courageous, maybe more bold, maybe things that you've never done before, but that's the gateway to embodying and aligning energetically with that version of yourself. And in that phase where you can basically go through many different things that you need to break through on inside, including, mindset blocks and including energy blocks and things that are really anchored in your subconscious. This is where, support is so crucial. I mean, personally, I went many times through this process already. And each time I know, and I don't fake myself, that this is the most challenging part of this process of energetic alignment and becoming your highest expression. And so, I equip myself obviously with coaches in that realm, because I know that there will be challenges and resistance showing up on my way, and even being conscious about it doesn't really help me yet to embrace them, because at the end, as human beings, we can be trapped into, being in the challenge, being in the problem, instead of evolving forward. We might miss actually what we need to do now, or we might miss the perception of the situation. So it's extremely of value to anyway have someone else that is few steps ahead of you that can help you to see what you don't see when you are walking this path along that journey. And, for me, when I'm looking back from the process that I designed to support my clients with, in this process, I see that there are three things that make really, truly a difference. First, in this process of aligning yourself, becoming more and more that version of yourself, one of the first thing and competence that you will need to develop, is mastering your mind that is conditioned, your mind that carries so much limiting beliefs, narratives, stories, which are non-visible for you because you became that mind. In other words, your current self doesn't see that there is another opportunity. So I love always to bring mental fitness for positive intelligence to really foster that process in a most effective way in this phase, because this is where you really understand very practically how those narratives function, how they challenge you, how they show up, and you very quickly develop the capability and habits to catch yourself, catch those narratives, and shift and take a power back of your mind. And that helps you, of course, to choose to follow the inner voice, the voice of your higher self, that narratives, that beliefs, and that embrace that identity so much more easier. Because the first, gatekeeper will be your mind, your current mind, and saboteurs and conditioning that has been built. The second important is, letting go of those deeper limiting beliefs and stories and part of your identity, current identity, that has helped you to come where you are now, but are actually staying in your way to jump to the next level and to realize what you truly want even with more ease and joy, either with your team, business, and life. And that process is so important because you cannot really jump forward, move forward with you when you're holding on still to something that worked in the past. So liberating yourself on a different level from your either mind narratives, energy blocks, and deeper think within your subconscious is so much important. And there, obviously, having appropriate guidance is crucial. And the third part that it makes this phase successful is also being supported with processes that foster that energetic alignment. So I develop energetic activations for that. I also embrace, understood from my own coach and from others in this realm, because they allow actually you to strengthen that muscle of connection with your vision and with your higher self, and to energetically connect with that vision and higher self, yourself in the moment. So they are kind of helping you to strengthen the muscle of imagination and strengthen your connection with energy of that identity, of the future identity that you embody. So that's the second phase, that's transition phase. And again, it's not linear, it's something going up and down. And a funny thing, one story to bring here is, for example, story of one of my clients who lead change. The change that she leads is to help leaders in the organization and beyond to drop from the mind to the heart and embrace more empathy and compassion in leading. And because, as we know, obviously that is leading to transforming teams and organizations and culture. And so many leaders are still in the mind and not so much connected with themselves and in the heart. And in this process of stepping into her next level of self, her higher self, the leader that guides this process, lead this process in organization and beyond that she's serving currently, she has been challenged. She has been challenged with it by working with someone that has appeared for her extremely, extremely difficult. And why this happened, this is extremely normal part of the process, because she was tested and she needed to develop this muscle herself to step into a more compassionate and empathic and loving type of leader, so that she could look at that other human being, that other person that she was working with from a different lens, and that she could shift actually the perception and the communication and response to that person, which obviously completely shifted the dynamic in the relationship together. So in this process, what is a funny thing is happening? It's funny, not funny, because obviously in this process, we're being challenged, but we are exactly being given the challenges that we are meant to receive in that phase, which are with one important reason happening for us to help us strengthen and embody what we want to become more of. So for example, if you want to be more bold or you want to be more confident, you will be receiving many, or you'll be encountering many challenges that are helping you to train that muscle, to strengthen that muscle. And this is where you, by taking actions and shifting energy from inside, that is where you are embodying and aligning the energy with your highest self. Because if you're not, you're basically living from your current self and living from the past conditioning. So the energetic alignment happens not only through shifting your state and connecting energetically with that frequency of your higher self, but in action, in demonstrating that in actions and behaviors that are in alignment. And at many times you will be seeing those beautiful opportunities where you will need to be bolder, be more confident in those moments, to train that muscle, to train that being or acting and leading from that identity. And the last phase of this energetic alignment is really the embodiment, the full embodiment. That's the last stage of it. So really fully being, not only becoming, but being that version of yourself in any dimension, on the level of thinking, on the level of energy, on the level of feeling, responses, ideas, strategies for your business, for team, the way you empower your team as well. This phase is an interesting phase, because in this phase, actually, what happens is you are being tested in patience. Because when you are anchoring that identity into your being, it doesn't mean that everything that you really already wanted is in your reality already. So it can be, for example, that you want your team to be highly performing and you already shifted inside. You feel that you are already, became evolved to the next version of yourself, and you still don't see your team fully being that dream team that you wanted and you designed for. And that's okay. This is the moment where the third phase kick in. This is the phase where you need to embrace the patience. And when you need to know that before that vision that you desire, in this case, highly performing team, before that vision comes into your reality and everybody co-create in that team and is engaged and is proactive and feel ownership, you need to be fully embodying the leader who already realized that. So the third phase is stabilizing, is anchoring that inside and embracing a deeper level of knowing, certainty, faith, trust, belief that this vision that you are shaping and co-creating is on its way. It's coming. It's inevitable. So in this phase, you will be challenged with doubts because obviously, imagine you've done an inner work, you master the energetic alignment. And yes, there will be shifts coming on your way, 100%. But maybe the full realization of what you wanted is not yet there. And what comes is our human mind trying to blunt doubts and question if the process and what you're doing is even effective, or you should change a strategy. Is the impatience? Where is it finally? And guess what? When we are going into that realm of thinking and being and leading, we are slowing down the vision realization, the conscious manifestation. Because basically, we are sending a signal to quantum field, if you like, and to the energy and to the universe that we're not ready. We're not ready to receive that fully. So in that phase, we really master fifth dimensional conscious co-creation. This is where strengthening your trust in something bigger than yourself, co-creation with universe, where full energetic alignment and feeling that in the body and the oneness and the love and the bliss and joy is coming into play. So again, a different realm of energetic alignment and embodiment practices that you will need in that stage to fully realize your vision and to fully become that version of yourself that is the next level of yourself. That is the version of you that is more potential, more joyful, more bold, more capable, and actually realizing that vision that you so much desire and hold in your heart. So that is the 3-stage process of energetic alignment. It's about activating it. It's about transitioning or aligning, in other words, from a current to that higher and next level of self. And it's about stabilizing, anchoring that version of yourself, embodying it fully and seeing, of course, your reality shift and your vision realize. And this is what also gives you a sign that this energetic alignment and embodiment has been successful. Yes, it is not just one technique. Energetic alignment is just not one technique that I can tell you here and say, do this and do that, and then you sort it. It's a process. And as you probably figured by me sharing that, it's a transformational process from within. It's an evolution of yourself to that next level of self, to the next level of thinking, being, and of course, that next level of consciousness that is actually currently happening in the world. And from my observation, thinking just about this 3-step process, I believe that a lot of the leaders are moving into this first step, in a first of self-discovery phase of understanding what's my values, what's my vision, what's maybe some of my beliefs that I might be holding on that do not serve, and understanding that beliefs shape also your reality. And this is starting to happen and is beautiful. And this is a first step of this inner work, of this energetical alignment. If you, this kind of leader, fantastic. Know that there is a next phase for you, knowing that there is something you can tap to that is going to speed your transformation evolution, first of all, for yourself as a leader, and is going to make an extraordinary impact and difference in the way you lead your team, your business, and your organization and your life. So my invitation would be to look into embodiment of extraordinary leadership, where basically we go through these 3 stages, and this process gives you access to all those extraordinary resources and processes and guidance and support that I was referring to in this conversation today. If you're in the second part of a process and you find yourself questioning and being messy in it, so please know you are on the right way, and that's exactly designed to be. And again, consider if embodiment of extraordinary leadership would not be for you. And know that in this process, being on your own, being unsupported, is going to slow down your transformation, slow down your evolution to the leader that you want to be. So the sooner you jump to program and equip yourself with an ecosystem and a coach that can help you to go through those difficult stages, the faster you're going to embody that leader that you are truly meant to be and realize your vision. And that's what embodiment of extraordinary leadership is also for. If you already master some manifestation techniques and co-creation, and you understand the energy, you know that there is frequency, you know that it all is possible, and that parallel universe exists and timeline jumps exist and quantum jumps exist. Fantastic. And if you don't know yet how to tap into that, this is what we also practice in Embodied Extraordinary Leadership, because basically it's great to know. For so many years, I knew certain things, but it's until I become it, until I get access to become it, that I can really truly become it. So this is also part of extraordinary leadership embodiment process. So basically it's a process that equips you from beginning to the end, if you like. And if you're a leader listening to here and thinking, wow, that's really new, all of that is something that I never heard about, then first of all, congratulations, because it's great that you have stayed until the end. And I appreciate that you stayed until the end and, listened and allow yourself to hear and be open to this concept. I think that whole thing starts with an openness to explore it, openness to go beyond the traditional thinking, and allow yourself to reflect from this episode yourself and see which of this part really I'm curious to explore more about. What is that something that maybe triggered me to do more with it, to explore this more, to hear more? And if you are in this stage, I really can only invite you to having a conversation as well with me, because this is where I can basically share with you, answer your questions, and see if you are ready to embark on this path. And if not, what would serve you first? And I mentioned already about some of resources. So if you one of those leaders listening here and thinking, okay, where can I get more information? First of all, there are more episodes about energy in this podcast. 2 that comes to my mind, I will reference in the episodes where I had a conversation with my coach, Lemka Letanska, as well with Dr. Ibrahim Al-Hajj, who written the book, Hack Your Mind. And we were in these 2 episodes talking about energy. And there is other episode coming about energy, as well as there are solo episodes of me that talk about energy management and other stuff related to energy alignment and embodiment. So yes, there are plenty of resources and more insights about this whole in this podcast itself. And if you want to explore beyond, then I invite you to listen on YouTube or anywhere else to Dr. Joe Dispenza or to Dr. Lipton. Those are the 2 close that come to the realm of what we actually discussed today. So there is a lot that I've been sharing with you today. This has been really an important episode, I believe, that might mark a new beginning for you. And I hope it does. And I hope that what you walk out with is, first of all, the curiosity for more. Curiosity for more, because with that curiosity, everything starts. If you like, I'll give you 1 or 2 questions that can start this activation process for yourself. Question number 1 that you can ask yourself is, what is if I was absolutely fearless, believe that everything is possible, that I can succeed? What is that I really, really, truly want more of as a leader in my business, with my team, in my organization, and in my life? Start to ask yourself this question. Because it's that question that will start to trigger your imaginative mind, your creative imagination, starts to connect you also with your higher self, with your soul, with that true purpose that you came here for in this life. And the second question that might help you with here is to ask yourself, who would I be if I could realize all of that? Who is that highest version of myself? Start to ask yourself these two questions and see what it evokes. They will start to bring you to if you allow yourself, a new level of thinking and feeling. It will evoke a different level of feeling, something that is really nice. And whenever you're ready to embark truly into that process and unlock exponential growth within yourself, within your team, within your organization, within your business, attract rather than chase business opportunities, clients, and talents for your organization, and build that highly performing team and lead a change that you navigate as a leader with far more ease and less pushing and forcing and chasing, but rather allowing and trusting and empowering. If that is what you seek, and if that is where you feel that you want to be more of as a leader, who you want to be more of a leader and what you want to create, then I invite you to have a conversation with me. And in that conversation, we will find out what's your best ultimate next step into getting there. It will be either embodiment of extraordinary leadership process or not, because I don't know where you are. But if you allow yourself to come to that conversation, I can guarantee that you will walk out with so much more clarity for yourself, for your leadership, for your business, for your team. And it will change the way you think about your leadership and leading and being and operating. And it will be benefiting, of course, your organization, business, and your team. So I want to leave you with that invitation today from this episode. And I can't wait to see you in these conversations, as well as can't wait to share more about this process in upcoming episodes as well. Thank you for now, and see you next time.